did it. I'm here. Yay. Hi. Welcome back to our Friday live Q&A. My name is Kaia Ra. I'm the author of the Sophia Code. And I'm also a channel, and I love to share teachings from the Ascended Masters of the Sophia Dragon Tribe. And if you're just joining us live, feel free to pop into the chat, say hello, introduce yourself. I'm in Colorado today. I've been snowboarding all week. Hi, welcome back. It's so good to see you popping on. So feel free to introduce yourself to one another, say hello, share where you're watching live or on the replay. I'm excited to be back here live with you today. It's one of my favorite things to do is to be able to connect with you. And we've got some cool questions for today. So I'm excited to just kind of dig in and have a really great conversation. Hi, Aliyah, Sophia, so good to see you. And if you have questions about working with me or learning more about the Sophia Code, we have our team angels here in the chat that are happy to answer your questions. So, you know, when you travel, you can have lots of small talk conversations. And you know me, I like to dive into the deep end of the pool with you. So I'm so excited to be here answering your questions today. I'm going to answer a question that came in yesterday, and then I'll take your questions in the chat. So my team sent me the question, and I'm just going to head over to read this question out loud. It's so good to see everyone coming on. Hi. Yeah, snowboarding has been amazing. We got some fresh powder today. We had some fresh powder 2 days ago. And I just can't even describe how much I love snowboarding. It's so much fun. I feel so connected to the earth and to the elements, and I guess to the joy of my inner child. So thanks for celebrating with me. Okay, so okay, here's the question. Well, I had to find it. There was a couple other things going on there. So the question is, this came up in our Team Angel study class for the Mother Mary Speaks live journey yesterday. And the question is, why do I sometimes feel anger when trying to mentor with a specific ascended master like Mother Mary? I actually love talking about when people feel angry, because to me, that's diving into the deep end of the pool. So let's go. There's nothing worse than not talking about anger, because then it just gets even more repressed and condensed and explosive. So let's have that conversation. Okay, so when you start to feel agitated, irritated, or even downright judgy and angry towards an ascended master, which is hilarious because they're ascended, so they've already achieved enlightenment for many and have sacrificed so much to become who they are. Why would we be angry at them? Well, it's because their sovereign potential actualized reveals to us the places and spaces within us that want to be liberated, that want to be shining, that want to be empowered the way we see an ascended master like Mother Mary shining upon us. And very often it's because we have a very close connection with that ascended master. So if you're in the Mother Mary Speaks live journey, which for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, there's still time to join us for the Mother Mary Speaks live journey this year in 2023. If you feel like curiously drawn to Mother Mary, but it also brings up fear or anxiety or anger, it's a couple of things are happening. Number one, you probably have previous lifetimes connected to Mother Mary, where you may have been persecuted for your work with her, or it might be that you've always loved Mother Mary so much that she's the one that helps you break through your trauma, your anger about the past. She's the one that helps you get closest to your trigger points so that you can finally grow beyond those trigger points. And so sometimes when we get close to the people that can help us the most, a lot of irritable feelings start to come up because there's a part of our consciousness that knows we're about to change and become bigger people. And the ego structure doesn't want us to become bigger people. It wants to keep us contracted and small. And so it's much easier to project onto an ascended master to feel anger towards them than it is to feel angry at ourselves. There's also the issue of how much religious doctrine and dogma and religious abuse has been done in many ascended masters' names, such as Jesus and Mother Mary and Isis. Wow, don't even get me started with that one. And it's important to understand that Mother Mary is angry about that as well. So when you feel angry about the abuses of religion, the controlling dogmatic beliefs of religion, imagine how she feels, because all of those things are happening in her name or in her son's name. And so when you feel angry about religious doctrine connected to Mother Mary, or someone even brought up yesterday, Ashley was telling me about how they're like, well, why is she an ascended master? All she did was have a baby. And it's like, if you read the Sophia Code, you'll discover Mother Mary worked her butt off, like in countless lifetimes. This woman was a highly trained oracular priestess. That's how she conceived Jesus. She was an orator. She was a teacher. She was at the head of the mystery school along with her mother, Anna, training initiates like Jesus and Mary Magdalene that we all look up to. It's like she worked so hard. I mean, there was prophecy spoken about her hundreds of years before she was born. And it wasn't just because it was Jesus. It was because she was such an extraordinary soul who had trained for so many lifetimes, she could give birth to an avatar such as Jesus in human form. And so when we are deconstructing all of this doctrine, all this ideology that gets crammed down our throats from childhood, and we start the process of dismantling it, we can feel really hesitant about drawing close to an ascended master like Mother Mary because we're dismantling so many lies connected to her through religious doctrine. And that dismantling process can feel very edgy and vulnerable to the ego structure, and maybe even to parts of you that, were conditioned in childhood to be afraid of dismantling doctrine. A lot of religion is based on mind control. It's just that simple. And let me tell you, when you start to dismantle mind control programs, you feel angry that you were being programmed to believe something that was harmful to yourself. Why wouldn't you? And it's so easy to project that anger onto, a spiritual figure like Mother Mary, or a teacher like myself, or, a coach or a guide that's helping you in that untangling process. And that's why we talk so much about Christ consciousness, because Christ consciousness, a big part of it is when you're embodying what we call Buddha or Christ consciousness, like you can see that someone's triggered, you can see that someone's really angry and projecting their anger onto someone else like Mother Mary, but you also see that they're doing it because of the pain that they're in, and that it's not personal, and that they actually need a lot of unconditional love and compassionate witnessing so that they can break through the triggers that are happening for them around the repressed anger that's finally, busting through. So, spiritual awakening it's a messy process. There's a lot of trigger buttons. There's a lot of unresolved trauma and, different belief systems that are unraveling all at the same time, when you start to choose to invite your higher self to start taking over and operating your consciousness. And it's always going to be easier to project onto people outside of us for the cause of our pain than to go and look within ourselves as to like why we're experiencing as much pain as we are. And so the good news about Mother Mary is she would rather have you feel angry about her than to be disinterested entirely. Because if you feel anger, it means that there's something special there for you to connect with her about. It means that there's probably a really deep heart connection, or at the very least, a very deep healing that wants to unfold with you and her, your higher self, and Mother Mary. So I personally can relate to this because, of course, many of you know what I survived, which is in the preface of the Sophia Code, which I can't talk about on social media because then I get shadow banned. But good news is we have a new membership app coming that is going to allow me to say whatever I want, however I want, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, connecting with Mother Mary was a journey for me because of what I survived in the quote unquote church. That's actually a Luciferian front in this world. And coming back to Mother Mary was an inside job. But every time I took another step forward towards Mother Mary, it dismantled more and more of my, programmed anxiety about connecting to Christian, iconic spiritual leaders that I needed to help me in my journey. It's like that, the anger towards the doctrine could have kept me from connecting to a spiritual guide and mentor that was there for me all along. And so my anger made me curious. It made me want to dig deeper and find out, well, do I really need Mother Mary? Or maybe I don't. And the more I explored the anger, the more I explored the anxiety around, dismantling religious programming, the closer I got to the pure essence of her heart, which is like connecting to the sun in the sky on a bright sunny day. Like she's just so much beautiful sacred flames of God consciousness and divine feminine Christ teachings. And she's filled with so much compassion and divine love, but also the passion of the mission, of course. So anyways, thanks for letting me share a little bit about that. If you feel anger towards an ascended master, it means you actually have a pretty deep connection with them, and you're on a journey to find out what that anger is about, what's going to be unraveling within you as you choose to embody your divinity and the light, the creative light and power of your soul here in this human lifetime. We also got is there anyone want to comment on that or ask a question? Feel free to put that in the live chat. And please, if you're watching this live, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. That's your way. That's a really solid way of showing your support for this free ministerial offering. All right, let's see what's happening in the chat. Let's see, Tamara. Tamara shares, I feel that this is what will happen worldwide when truths can no longer be ignored. I feel that the Sophia Code and the Sophia Circle Leader certification process will help humanity with this awakening process. Thank you for sharing that, Tamara. It's exactly why we created the certification program. And it's why the Sophia Code is here. I love that you're able to articulate that. Thank you so much. Okay, Rock and Rosa Wellness is sharing, I've just had the same experience. Mother Mary has been trying to reach me for years, and I was finally open to receive with her hands up. That's amazing, Rosa. Thank you for sharing that, your reflection. Let's see. Maria is sharing, I just finished the Sophia Code. It was life-changing. I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing. Heart. Oh, thank you, Marie. So feel free to share any other questions that you might have for today's Friday Q&A. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds. And then if we don't have a live question come in, I have another question on standby. So no worries. I'm just going to keep reading in this chat. Wow, it's so great to see everyone getting to know each other. Oh, Shmrita is sharing, I'm so close to manifesting the life of my dreams, but today I have been overcome by feelings of unworthiness, and I fear that I won't be able to find the investors that I need. Mother Mary really helped. Oh my goodness. That's so amazing to hear how you're co-creating your life of dreams with Mother Mary, and that you're willing to do your part, and you're willing to allow Mother Mary to come in and bring her miraculous presence to your creative process. Oh, here's some questions. Wow, everybody's coming through now. What are your thoughts about Mother Mary's apparition in I'm sorry, I will butcher that word if I try to pronounce that. But I know exactly where you're talking about. Kaia is sharing, how do I go closer to the Ascended Masters? What can I do to strengthen our relationship? Beautiful question. Let's see. Okay, cool. Those are some good questions. What do you feel about ascension symptoms from Marcy? Well, they're 100% real. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about Mother Mary appearing in the physical to children. The way I feel about it is 100%. It's one of the reasons why I love Mother Mary as a spiritual guide so much. It's because Mother Mary loves to reach us through form. She's not afraid of becoming physical in visions to people. She's not afraid of using like quantum reality to support her reaching as many souls as possible. And children, I mean, she's like she says in the Sophia Code, Mother Mary's like, I am a mother of mothers. Part of her spiritual teachings comes from a sovereign parenting paradigm. And so Mother Mary, like, we are all like spiritual, in many ways, we're like spiritual children to Mother Mary that she's a parent to. And so, a parent would do anything to reach their children and help them release their suffering. And a good parent, at any rate, would want to bring relief and inspiration and support and resources for their children to grow strong and healthy and powerful. And that's what Mother Mary is doing with these apparitions throughout time. She's saying, I'm still here. And I'm not going anywhere until this planet ascends, until humanity is free. I mean, in many ways, she's like what they would call in Tibetan Buddhism a bodhisattva. I mean, to remain this connected to humans when she doesn't have to, that's a huge act of service. Like, billions of people constantly ask for Mother Mary's support as a spiritual guide all day long, every day. And there's probably more altars built to Mother Mary than any other goddess figure on the planet right now. I mean, it's fascinating, like, what an impact Mother Mary has had on the heart of humanity. And so, the interesting part about Mother Mary's apparitions to saints like Bernadette and Joan of Arc, and of course these beautiful children in different parts of the world, she's appearing to souls that are willing to receive her. She's appearing to souls that are operating from their invincible innocence. They don't have a resistance to being in communion with the light of Mother Mary's ministry and message. And so, and what's interesting to me about this is, like, the children would be questioned over and over and over again, because of course Mother Mary has appeared physically all over the world to children and to adults that were really in alignment with their spiritual journey. And so they were very much operating from their innocence when Mother Mary physically appeared to them that way. And miracles have always resulted in her appearance. So the way I feel about it is, it's Mother Mary's way of taking her power back from the church, from, there's a massive satanic stronghold in many of the established church systems that we, profess one thing but do a whole other thing in the middle of the night, let me tell you. And so when Mother Mary appears to saints and to children, just when she appears to souls that are willing to listen, is her way of fighting back and saying, not in my name. And, revealing that, the matrix programming has no power over her, and it has no power over our direct relationship with her as a spiritual guide. Further, what Mother Mary is teaching us on an advanced level, when she physically appears to initiates, is she's saying, this is where you're going in your own spiritual journey. Like, one day form will have no power over you either, and you will be able to serve others as I serve. We have to have role models to know where we're going. And that's what the Ascended Masters are. They're role models for our own development, like the unlimited capacity of our own soul's light to help others. And so when Mother Mary appears in a physical apparition, she's showing us her own potential. And that's one of the reasons why I love everything about Mother Mary, because she's just so hands-on with physical reality. She doesn't have to be as an Ascended Master. Many Ascended Masters do not, I don't know how to say it, they don't orchestrate physical miracles the way Mother Mary does. It's kind of her niche. It's kind of her calling card. And I think that's why she's at the very heart of this cosmology. She brings great, it's like her heart brings new life to all of these other masters' teachings in the Sophia Code. It's fascinating for me to see where she got placed at key code 4, like right in the center of the cosmology. And it's fascinating to me that we're doing this live journey with her in 2023, because I thought this book was going to come out a lot sooner. And it's actually perfect that now that I'm living this year, and after the past few years of global psyops, it's like, yeah, of course, this is the year. This is the year that we journey with Mother Mary to open up our hearts and to step into our own spiritual power as she did when she walked the earth. Let's see. Okay, so this has been a really in-depth Q&A. This has been really fun. There's another question coming in. Shmirta is asking, are any of Jesus and Mary Magdalene's descendants still alive today? And if so, do they also have a big spiritual mission? The answer to that is yes. And, they won't be shouting it from the rooftops, because they will actually be genuinely serving because they don't care about the egoic connection that most humans would care about, being descendants of that lineage. And so, those who carry the biggest swords are often the quietest about it. And so it's important for us to not get caught up on bloodlines or lineages or anything like that, because what Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene Jesus were embodying for us is that we are all the Christ. We are all endowed with equal merit of equal qualities of our sovereign divinity. And so it's all about us embodying our shared and equal sovereign divinity to lay down the hierarchies of religion and our past history and the lies of our past history about what's important versus what is really important. It's like, so I wanted to answer that because it's true. And it's just like, who cares? Like, we're all needed and we're all just as important as everyone else. So I think that's an easy way that that we can get tripped up in the spiritual journey where we start comparing ourselves to one another. And it's important that we really just focus on, like, everyone has been created equal and sovereign in the eyes of Sophia God. And we're all here on a massive collective angelic mission that we cannot complete without one another. And so it's a great question. I want to thank you for asking it, because I think there's a lot of weird ego crap in the spiritual world that we just need to collectively name it, discern ourselves through, and just move on from it. And that is definitely one of the things that happens in spirituality is hierarchical stuff that doesn't serve any of us anymore. So because we're all the body of Christ. All right. I wanted to answer one more question before we move on. And that is, France. We got a couple of questions about France, where we just announced that we're going to be live in Marseille, France. Speaking of the Magdalens, I'm glad Shmita brought that up. We chose southern France because that's where we were being guided to go. I mean, that is where Mary Magdalene landed, along with many other initiates from their community. And I also believe that Mother Mary joined them as well. I've seen it. Not everybody sees it, that version, but that's what I see, is that Mother Mary as well landed with Mary Magdalene. Does that mean that they stayed in France together forever? No, I think Mother Mary would have never, ever left Mary Magdalene's side after what Jesus went through. And she stayed with Magdalene in the caves until it was time, until they could, come forth and create their life in France, which eventually spread Magdalene's ministry along with Mother Mary, who continued to serve until her ascension. Like, they continue to serve throughout all of Europe, and actually they continue to travel the world. But they had a massive impact on Europe until their movement was persecuted once again, as it was in Palestine. And it's a place that, for me, there's such a purity in the land. When I stand on the shores of Camargue, when I stand in southern France, I can feel how much the land, the ocean, the waters, the caves were a big part of, healing her heart, Magdalene's heart, and really helping her reset, regenerate, reboot. And also, begin her journey as a mother in many ways. So Katie is sharing, I'm just a few hours from Marseille, but it's so sad that it's not on the weekend and it's impossible for me to go during the working week. I hope it is everything that you wish for. Thank you for sharing, Katie. Maybe something magical will happen so that you can still join us. Unfortunately, because we really struggled to find a venue in the south of France to do this event. It's not easy to produce an event in the south of France. And so the only, especially during the summertime, which is the opening that I could be there. And so that's what we had to work with, was the days of the week, not on the weekend, that the hotels were still available for us to be able to produce this event. So praying for a miracle for you to be with us. And we're so grateful for your support of the Sophia Code. So that's a little bit about that. And we're going to do another live next week where you can ask more questions about being in Marseille, France with us. And you can always reach out to my team angels and connect with them at my website, kaiara.com. It's easy to get on the phone with them, or WhatsApp, or a Zoom call, and just connect and get to know us better, and we can get to know you better and help, share a little bit more about our curriculums and our upcoming events. And again, there's still time. If you have been feeling called to this Mother Mary journey that we're doing this year, feel free to get on the phone with us and ask us your questions. This is an extraordinary live journey. And there's a lot of people on this journey. There's so many friends that you're going to be able to get to meet who also deeply care about their spiritual awakening and their direct relationship with the Ascended Masters, such as Mother Mary. And yeah, so it's really special. And I hope that you can join us. Oh, thanks for all the love from Europe. And oh my gosh, really, really grateful for all of your loving support. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share these videos with your loved ones if they'd like to learn more about the Sophia Code and our movement and embodying their higher self. We love you all so, so much. Thanks for being here today. Namaste.